Leasing and lease types practice test. Question 1. When a single-family home transaction involves a licensee engaged to represent a purchaser or prospective purchaser, which answer identifies the controlling concept? Option A, fiduciary duty. Option B, designated agency. Option C, buyer's agent. Option D, client. The correct answer is option C, buyer's agent. The representative assists with evaluation, offer preparation, negotiation, and protection of the buyer's interests. Confidential information about the buyer's motivation or maximum price must be protected. The relationship and compensation terms should be stated in the brokerage agreement. Question 2. A practice question describes a change in a housing rule or service needed for a person with a disability to have equal use and enjoyment. Which response is best? Option A, Megan's Law Notice. Option B, Americans with Disabilities Act. Option C, time-in arrangement. Option D, reasonable accommodation. The correct answer is option D, reasonable accommodation. A housing provider may request limited information when the need is not obvious. The request concerns policy or procedure rather than a structural change. Approval is required unless the request creates an undue burden or fundamental alteration. Question 3. During a financing review, which principle is illustrated by mixing client or trust funds with a broker's personal or operating money? Option A, commingling. Option B, ministerial act. Option C, procuring cause. Option D, general agent. The correct answer is option A, commingling. Separate accounts protect the owners of the funds and permit accurate accounting. Conversion is more serious because it involves unauthorized use of the money. Even without theft, mixing funds can violate licensing rules. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. Which answer states the concept associated with a physical change to housing needed by a person with a disability? Option A, a constructive notice. Option B, reasonable modification. Option C, cloud on title. Option D, group boycott. The correct answer is option B, reasonable modification. The request should be evaluated individually rather than rejected by a blanket rule. The resident may be permitted to install accessibility features subject to lawful conditions. Responsibility for cost and restoration depends on the housing type and applicable law. Question 5. A salesperson handling a historic residence in Grand Rapids must identify an agent authorized to act broadly in nearly all matters for the principal. Which choice is correct? Option A, confidentiality duty. Option B, ministerial act. Option C, universal agent. Option D, dual agent. The correct answer is option C, universal agent. A comprehensive power of attorney may create such authority. Most real estate licensees serve under narrower special authority. This level of authority is uncommon in ordinary brokerage representation. Question 6. During a lease negotiation for a mixed-use property in Detroit, Owen needs to identify the rule described as the obligation to protect private information learned through representation. Which answer applies? Option A, reasonable care. Option B, client. Option C, procuring cause. Option D, confidentiality duty. The correct answer is option D, confidentiality duty. It does not permit concealment of material property defects that law requires to be disclosed. The duty can continue after the agency relationship ends. Negotiating limits, motivation, and personal circumstances generally remain protected unless disclosure is authorized or legally required. Question 7. A buyer is reviewing a subdivision lot in Ocean City. Which term describes a relationship created when a principal later approves an act performed without prior authority? Option A, agency by ratification. Option B, subagent. Option C, implied agency. Option D, dual agent. The correct answer is option A, agency by ratification. The approval treats the authorized result as though authority existed at the time of the act. The principal must know the material facts and accept the benefit or conduct. Ratification cannot validate an illegal act. Question 8. At a title examination, a Michigan exam candidate encounters the following description: an agreement among competitors to divide customers, territories, or property types. Which concept is being tested? Option A, group boycott. Option B, market allocation. Option C, underground storage tank. Option D, general warranty deed. The correct answer is option B, market allocation. Competitors cannot promise to stay out of one another's areas or specialties. The arrangement reduces competition by assigning business rather than competing for it. Independent strategic focus is lawful when it is not based on an agreement.
Are you looking for CNA actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access CNA study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get CNA answer key today.
Question 9. Hector is assisting with a rental home transaction in Towson. Which principle applies when the facts involve an otherwise valid agreement that a court will not enforce because of a legal defense? Option A, right of first refusal. Option B, a consideration. Option C, unenforceable contract. Option D, a contingency. The correct answer is option C, unenforceable contract. A missing required writing or expiration of a limitations period can prevent judicial enforcement. This status differs from an agreement that was void at formation. The underlying promises may have been lawful and supported by consideration. Question 10. Which answer most accurately identifies an agent authorized through another agent who owes duties to the principal represented by the appointing brokerage in a real estate transaction in the inspection period described? Option A, agency by ratification. Option B, general agent. Option C, obedience duty. Option D, subagent. The correct answer is option D, subagent. The cooperating representative owes fiduciary duties to the principal even without a direct agreement with that principal. The cooperating licensee does not automatically become the buyer's representative merely by working with the buyer. Agency status depends on the established relationship and required disclosures. Question 11. A question arising during property-management audit concerns unqualified agreement to the terms of an offer communicated in the authorized manner. Which choice gives the best classification? Option A, acceptance. Option B, offer. Option C, voidable contract. Option D, counteroffer. The correct answer is option A, acceptance. Timing and communication rules determine when the agreement becomes binding. Silence generally does not constitute consent unless an established legal exception applies. Changing a material term normally creates a counteroffer rather than unqualified assent. Question 12. While analyzing a duplex, Zane must apply the concept involving an agent authorized to perform a specific task or transaction. Which answer should be selected? Option A, obedience duty. Option B, special agent. Option C, ministerial act. Option D, a procuring cause. The correct answer is option B, special agent. The relationship ends when the assigned purpose is completed or otherwise terminated. The agent cannot exceed the powers granted in the agreement. A listing broker generally receives limited authority to market and negotiate rather than to transfer title for the owner. Question 13. Which real estate term is defined by transfer of contractual rights from one party to another in the settlement preparation described? Option A, buyer representation agreement. Option B, a net listing. Option C, assignment. Option D, open listing. The correct answer is option C, assignment. The original party transfers a benefit but may remain responsible for obligations unless released. The contract or law may restrict the transfer of contractual rights when personal performance is important. Notice helps protect the transferee and the party who must perform. Question 14. In a transaction involving a townhouse, which rule controls when there is an agreement giving a holder the right, but not the obligation, to buy or lease under stated terms within a fixed period? Option A, voidable contract. Option B, time is of the essence. Option C, net listing. Option D, option contract. The correct answer is option D, option contract. Separate consideration commonly supports the promise not to revoke. The owner must keep the opportunity open during the option term. Exercise must strictly comply with the method and deadline stated in the agreement. Question 15. A property manager asks about a contract provision making stated deadlines material duties. Which answer provides the legally accurate concept? Option A, time is of the essence. Option B, purchase agreement. Option C, unenforceable contract. Option D, option contract. The correct answer is option A, time is of the essence. Failure to perform on time can constitute breach without the flexibility otherwise allowed by reasonable minus delay principles. Parties can waive strict enforcement through conduct or written modification. The clause should be applied to the deadlines covered by its wording. Question 16. Gavin encounters a fibrous material formerly used in insulation, fireproofing, and building products during a marketing review. Which principle should guide the analysis? Option A, general warranty deed. Option B, asbestos. Option C, recording. Option D, actual notice. The correct answer is option B, asbestos. Its presence does not automatically require removal if it is intact and safely managed. The material is most hazardous when disturbed fibers become airborne. Proper inspection and removal require qualified professionals. Question 17. Which choice best matches the description, the obligation to follow the principal's lawful instructions within the agency scope? Option A, seller's agent. Option B, customer. Option C, obedience duty. Option D, subagent. The correct answer is option C, obedience duty. Illegal or unethical instructions must not be followed. The brokerage agreement defines the limits of authority. An agent must carry out authorized directions even when another approach seems more profitable. Question 18. During review of a waterfront parcel in Easton, the parties discussed the obligation to safeguard and accurately report money or property belonging to the principal. Which term applies? Option A, designated agency. Option B, dual agent. Option C, agency by ratification. Option D, accounting duty. The correct answer is option D, accounting duty. Detailed records allow the principal and regulators to verify handling. Unauthorized use or commingling violates the trust placed in the agent. Funds must be separated, documented, and delivered according to law and agreement. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. An exam scenario presents a definite proposal communicated with intent to be bound upon acceptance. Which answer is most accurate in the pre-listing meeting described? Option A, offer. Option B, open listing. Option C, void contract. Option D, bilateral contract. The correct answer is option A, offer. The terms must be sufficiently clear for the recipient to understand the proposed bargain. An advertisement is usually an invitation to negotiate unless it is unusually specific and leaves nothing open. The proposal can terminate through revocation, rejection, counter-proposal, lapse, or operation of law. Question 20. A licensee preparing for a title examination must recognize an agreement among competitors to establish or stabilize prices or commission terms. Which concept does this describe? Option A, Megan's Law Notice. Option B, price fixing. Option C, cloud on title. Option D, a quitclaim deed. The correct answer is option B, price fixing. The agreement can be unlawful even when the chosen rate appears reasonable. Each brokerage must make independent pricing decisions. Informal conversations or coordinated minimum fees can create serious risk. Question 21. Which answer correctly classifies a situation involving an agent authorized to handle a series of transactions within an ongoing business area? Option A, commingling. Option B, obedience duty. Option C, general agent. Option D, special agent. The correct answer is option C, general agent. A property manager often receives broad operational authority for the managed property. This role is broader than authority limited to one specific sale. The agent may bind the principal only within the granted scope. Question 22. At an inspection period in Silver Spring, Priya explains inducing owners to sell by suggesting protected groups are moving into the area and property values will decline. Which real estate principle is involved? Option A, cloud on title. Option B, quiet title action. Option C, lead-based paint disclosure. Option D, block busting. The correct answer is option D, block busting. Marketing should never use protected-class change as a reason to buy or sell. The conduct exploits fear and discriminatory assumptions for transaction activity. It is prohibited even if the licensee claims the statement reflects market opinion. Question 23. A transaction file for a small apartment building raises an issue involving a licensee engaged to represent the owner in marketing and negotiating a property. Which answer best resolves the classification? Option A, seller's agent. Option B, loyalty duty. Option C, express agency. Option D, accounting duty. The correct answer is option A, seller's agent. Known material facts still must be disclosed as required to buyers. The agency relationship should be established and disclosed in writing. The representative seeks lawful terms favorable to the owner and must protect the owner's confidential information. Question 24. Which concept should a seller apply to facts involving the federal law establishing liability and cleanup authority for releases of hazardous substances? Option A, radon. Option B, CERCLA. Option C, constructive notice. Option D, cloud on title. The correct answer is option B, CERCLA. Environmental due diligence may support statutory defenses for qualifying purchasers. Liability can extend beyond the person who originally caused the contamination. Potentially responsible parties can face substantial cleanup obligations. Question 25. Imani is studying a rule concerning a contract transferring possession and use for a term while the owner retains title. Which term should be chosen? Option A, purchase agreement. Option B, statute of frauds. Option C, lease. Option D, right of first refusal. The correct answer is option C, lease. The tenant receives of the rental agreement hold interest and owes duties stated in the agreement and law. Rent, duration, maintenance, and permitted use are central terms. The document does not convey fee ownership to the occupant.